Okay, guys, so I am going to talk to you about my recent miscarriage that I had September 14th of 2019. My symptoms, my side effects, my attitude, my emotions, the visits, and everything is going to be this video. October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and so I figured I might as well do it for you right now. This will be the last video I make on this. Okay, so I'm able to talk about it without busting into tears, but I do have triggers, so I'll probably cry in this video at some point. I will pause it and be right back. So bear with me for a minute, if you will. Okay, so like I said, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. August 13th, here's my story. August 13th, I took a pregnancy test. It was the general dollar pregnancy test, and it was positive. And yes, I've kept everything. I was shocked, nervous, and excited. The thing I was shocked and nervous for was telling family. I wasn't shocked or nervous about having another baby. I would have 20 of them if I could. So I came home and I told my husband, and he was shocked, nervous, and excited too. But he was also shocked and nervous about the same reason I was, telling the family that we are pregnant again. Because we have a 14-month-old and we're 40. So they were shocked when we told them that we were pregnant before with Ava. So we were worried what they were going to say. So we do not have insurance. Insurance is extremely high. It's $800 a month. And I don't go to the doctor unless I am pregnant or dying. So there is no reason to spend $800 a month on insurance I'm not going to use. So we didn't have insurance. So I applied for the government issued pregnancy insurance. That only covers the pregnancy for you. Sorry, I live by an Air Force base and planes are going to be flying over all day. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, so on September 9th, I started bleeding some, and I did not bleed in my other 3 pregnancies, so I got worried and scared and went to the emergency room. The emergency room told me that it is totally normal for women to bleed at the beginning of a pregnancy. Now, I had no idea, and I researched this, and it is totally normal for some women to bleed in the first part of pregnancy. Again, I didn't do this with my other 3, so I was scared and went to the emergency room, and they said it was totally fine that I was there, of course. So they took some blood and did my blood work, and yes, I was pregnant, and yes, my numbers were 18,000 something. I don't know how the numbers work. I just know that every 2 days they double. So they told me to come back in 2 days to make sure that my numbers were doubling or whatever. So when they did my blood work, they were like, okay, well, we're going to do a sonogram. Now, they did an external sonogram, and there was, you know, they saw a baby, and they said it was too early to see the heartbeat, probably, and not a big deal, again, that it was probably just too early to see a heartbeat. Well, they ordered a second sonogram, a vaginal sonogram, and it took about 5-10 minutes, and I went back to the room to wait for the doctor, and waiting gives me anxiety. I don't like doctors and hospitals already, so I was waiting in the room, and the doctor comes in and says, well, it is totally normal for a woman to bleed at the beginning of a pregnancy. With a sonogram, we saw 2 babies, so I was expecting twins. He said it real casually, too. Oh, well, we saw the babies. We haven't seen heartbeats yet. It's probably too early to see them. And the look on my face, I'm sure, was complete shock, because then he said, yes, I did say babies. There's 2 in there. So I was so excited, because I was thinking, okay, the bleeding is no big deal. I've got 2 babies in there. Oh my gosh, I'm having twins. Can you believe that? So I left the hospital and called my husband and said, wow, you like to do things big. So I told him we had twins in there, and he was excited, and so was I. So they told me that I needed to go to the OB as soon as I could. Well, I hadn't gotten my insurance card thing yet. Well, when I got home from the ER on the 9th, my insurance card was in the mail, so I made an appointment. And September 11th, I went, and the doctor, I didn't like her right off the jump. I don't know. Maybe she's fine. Maybe I was just paranoid or nervous or sad that I'm losing my babies, you know. But I didn't like her. They did not draw blood. They didn't do any of that. They were just like, okay, so, sorry about the plane. They said, so what is happening? And I said, well, I'm bleeding, and the emergency room told me to come check it out. So she goes, okay, well, it's totally normal for women to bleed in the beginning of a pregnancy. Again, I've told this again, so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's nothing. So she did a pap smear. Again, did not draw any blood to check my numbers like the ER did. I did a sonogram, vaginal sonogram at this doctor. And they were in there for about 2 minutes, and the sonogram tech said, okay, I'm sorry, I don't see anything. Talking to the doctor. And the doctor said, okay. And I can see the TV, so I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I'm listening for, because I've had 3 other children before. Well, I already knew. She didn't even have to say, I don't see anything. I already knew that it was not good. So we went back to the room, and she told me that I was having a miscarriage and there was nothing she could do about it at this time. Now, I've done some research and looked up everything, almost everything about a miscarriage, because I've never had one. I don't know what to expect, what to do, anything. But apparently if you get there in time, or if the pregnancy is later, you can possibly get some drugs or something to stop a miscarriage. I don't know. But she said there was nothing she could do about it. So, she gave me 3 options. I could do a D&C, which I don't really know what that stands for, because I already knew I didn't want to do that. It is a surgery. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot what that stands for. I did look it up. I mean, I have seen what it is from a group that I'm in, a support group I'm in. So, I didn't want to take the pill. I just wanted my body to do whatever it's supposed to do naturally. I didn't want to put any drugs in there, because doctors have been wrong about a miscarriage before. So, I was like, if I take the pill and they're wrong, I would be doing the wrong thing. So, I didn't take the pill. I knew I didn't want to do the surgery. So, I just chose to do a natural miscarriage at home. She told me that there was going to be lots of blood, which there is and was. And told me to come back October 10th. Well, October 10th was 4 weeks away. And I thought that was a little insane, being that I've never had a miscarriage before. Again, I didn't know what to expect. But having a miscarriage, I would assume that they would want me to come in every week to make sure that things are progressing and doing what they are supposed to do. So, okay, that was Wednesday, the 11th. Thursday, I didn't bleed that much, and then Friday, I started bleeding more. Here comes another plane. I apologize. Saturday came, and I was still bleeding. I wasn't cramping, or I didn't have a fever. I didn't feel sick or sad. Like, not sad. I was sad. I didn't feel sick or fever. I wasn't anything. I didn't cramp or anything on Saturday. So I went and did my Dollar General deal, my couponing thing. And when I came back home, there were 2 pennies from heaven in the driveway when I got out of the car. And yes, I saved them. I saved everything. And I started crying. And about an hour after that, the babies came out. Now, my husband was in the pool and having some drinks and stuff, and I didn't want to mess up his weekend. I didn't want him to see it or hear about it or anything. But it was extremely hard for me. It was a baby. They were a baby. There was 2 of them. They were babies. And I think for him to get closure and feel okay about it, he is saying they weren't, and they were this big. Well, they weren't that small. They were big, and they were babies, and you could tell. So I just had a breakdown in the bathroom for about an hour. Sorry. That was the day that we posted on Facebook about it, because I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I don't feel like I can talk to anybody about it. First of all, because I don't want to talk to anybody that hasn't been through it, because they wouldn't understand, is what I feel. I don't want to talk about it with my husband, because he's a man, and he doesn't want to remember it. He kind of wants to forget about it and push it out of the way. I don't want to talk to somebody that has been through it, because I don't want to make them relive their loss. You don't ever forget about a loss, but I don't want them to remember the loss part. And so I'm talking to y'all about it. You can listen or you're not, but I feel okay talking to you about it. So, there are things that trigger me. Like, I started feeling okay Sunday, but all of my things, emotions, I was excited about having baby. I was excited about twins. I was in denial, thinking maybe I'm just losing one of them. That happens all the time. They think I'm having a miscarriage, but I'm just losing one, and the other one's going to be totally fine. So I was in denial. And then I got mad. I was like, okay, sorry about that. Ava woke up from her nap. Okay, so I was telling you about my emotions. Now, to get a little bit of closure, and I'm going to back up a little bit to the September 11th doctor visit. Now, she didn't draw blood, I told you, and I thought it was odd that she just took a sonogram and said, okay, there's nothing I can do. Sorry, go home, and I'll see you in a month. Well, I wanted closure and to feel like something was happening. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really care for this doctor. I don't know. So I went back to the emergency room on the 11th, because they told me to come back in 2 days. So they drew my blood, and my numbers were down to 16,000 from 18,000 something that it was on the 9th. So that helps me a little bit, but not really. So I was telling you on Sunday I was a little better, because Saturday was the day that I was miscarried them, and it was awful. So Sunday I was feeling a little better. Of course, I still cried like half the day. And then Monday, we got 2 perfect rosebuds, and I just had a breakdown. 2 hummingbirds were eating out of my feeder at the same time. That never happens. And my husband's dad came over and brought 2 flowers. He doesn't ever bring me flowers. Ever. And he did. My husband swears that's not what you think. He didn't bring that for that, but he did. And I know he did. And it's fine. It's great he did. I planted them. Just certain things. Like, I'll see a baby in a cloud. Butterflies. Just anything, really. I still have moments where I think I should be going to the doctor to see my babies. Okay. I just want to let y'all know that it is a traumatic and terrible experience to go through if you haven't gone through it. But if you know someone that has, be there for them. We posted on our Facebook, and we weren't going to, but I felt, like I said, I felt I needed some closure. I am the last person to want a pity party. I don't do pity parties for myself. I don't want somebody inboxing me saying, oh, I'm sorry about your babies. Oh, I'm so sorry about your babies. Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what to say or do for you. You don't need to say or do anything for me. I just felt like I needed closure and let people know that it does happen. That my loss is not a secret. That I'm not ashamed of them. Because one day I will go up there and see them. I'll see them again one day. And I'm kind of weird, I think, because every now and then Ava will be, hi, to nothing. I think that's just me wanting to think that they're here. So, like I said, this will be the last video I make on this. But I just want you to know that it is a big deal for women that have had them. No matter how far along they were. And I keep them. I keep the pennies from heaven from them, and their sonogram pictures and their pregnancy test and my hospital wristbands in the pregnancy box, and I keep it in another box by my bed. Like I said, I don't want to forget them, because me and my husband made those babies. And they were in there. And they were babies when they came out. Okay. So, thanks for listening if you made it this far. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. That's all for today. Okay, so I'm back real quick. Since this is the last video I'm making about this, I wanted to tell you that every day gets better, but it is still very sad. I went through a depression, and for 2 days I didn't eat anything. And then I realized I didn't eat anything, but I wasn't like depressed and crying all day and not taking a shower, and I wasn't in that kind of depression. I was just super sad. I was still able to function. I still took a shower. I still did my cleaning stuff. I still took care of my Ava. I still was able to function and do all this stuff. But this could really be a depressing thing for someone. So if you know someone that has been through this and you think they're okay, I urge you to really ask them and sit down and ask them if they are okay. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't talk to someone about anything. If you need to talk to me, go ahead and send me a message and I will talk to you about it. If you have questions for me, send a comment or inbox me about it. I will answer what I can. Do not feel like it is your fault. It is not your fault at all. It is not your fault. I went through that for a second, saying I did it, but it is not your fault. And my doctor also, I didn't tell you about the follow-up thing. She just told me that if I take a pregnancy test in 4 weeks from the delivery of them on the 14th, if it comes back positive, to come see her. So I really don't know about the doctor, that doctor. I'm actually gonna take a pregnancy test today, since I'm not gonna make this video again, and see what it says. If it's positive, then I still have my numbers up, and if it's negative, the numbers are down and everything's gone. So I will be right back. I'm gonna go take that test right now for y'all, and then share the results with you. Okay, so I took the test. It has been 2 weeks and 4 days since I had my miscarriage, and my numbers are gone, which means my natural miscarriage did what it was supposed to do. My doctor told me to wait 4 weeks. I went ahead and took it today for you, since I'm not going to make another video on this, and this actually gave me closure with it too. So this actually helped me. Okay, so now that I took that test, it actually helps me a little bit to know that my numbers are all the way down. They're under 5. Pregnancy tests cannot read under 5. So that actually helps me a lot. Get support groups. Facebook, if you have a Facebook has tons of them, and they have helped me a lot. They have helped me a ton. Excuse me, golly. I won't forget about my twins. I won't. I will see y'all tomorrow, but me and my husband are, have talked about maybe trying for one. I don't know. Another one is not going to take their place, but I want more kids, and he was excited about this pregnancy, so I think he realized he wanted some more. So we've talked about it, but I'm not sure that we're going to try. We didn't try for Ava, and we didn't try for these either, but it just happened. And since my numbers are gone, the doctor said wait 1 full cycle, and then to try if you were planning on trying again. To wait 1 full cycle is best, she said, because if you get pregnant before your first cycle, it is a higher chance that it could miscarry again. Not all do that, so do not think, oh my gosh, I got pregnant after my miscarriage. Do not think that it's just a higher percentage that it could happen again. But again, that does not mean that you will miscarry if you got pregnant after miscarriage. I obviously have not had my first cycle yet, and I don't know what else to say about it, but I'm going to talk to you real quick about some regrets that I have with this. I regret my ER visit, that I didn't get the sonogram pictures. I regret that I did not take a picture of them on the 14th when I saw them. And maybe it happened for a reason that I didn't take the picture. I knew if I took it, I thought about it when I saw them. I knew I didn't want my husband to see them. So maybe that's why I didn't take a picture. Because he would go in my phone and see. I don't know. But I kind of regret not taking a picture of them. I regret not saving them and having tests done on them. But also, again, this probably happened for a reason. If I would have known what their gender was, I would have wanted to name them. And I don't know. That's just some of my regrets. But then I'm always like, well, there had to have been a reason that I didn't do that or do this. I actually think I can still go to the emergency room and get my sonogram pictures. So I might do that. I don't know. Again, this is the last video I'm going to make on this. So if y'all have any questions, though, or if you want to inbox me, go ahead. And I will talk to you and answer anything that I can. Y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.